All right. So this week, there are actually a lot of scheduling notes we need to talk about because we're going to talk about what's scheduling this week, which actually isn't a lot because it's cleanup week. Next week is when we're going to start seeing um, allocations for May. In fact, today is the day that they open it up for dealers to go in and go ahead and slate out if they want any supplements, and for us to be able to see our allocations. So we won't have the full number until the end of the week. So next week is when May's allocations are going to be used. So we're still working off of April's allocations. So, but I'm going to highlight a couple other things that came out in today's Ford wholesale was what they call it, information. So there are some things to highlight. I might have to wear my glasses today. Not a lot of light here. But so I do have more information. So as we go through these, we'll kind of add some other things that are part of that. So for the 24 Mustang, this is cleanup scheduling. Don't forget, they're not going to be scheduling Dark Horse. It's a stop build right now. Also, no black painted roofs. So the night Pona package would be out. Also, no convertibles being scheduled. And no 100A is not being scheduled. So, and then also to remember, anything else is going to need to have either, like if it's a 201A or 401A, that's the premium GT or EcoBoost premium. Those can be scheduled because they will have the wrapped leather console. And then otherwise, if you don't have one of those, if you have the base GT or the base EcoBoost, you're going to have the, of course, you have to have 101A on the EcoBoost, but you'll have to have the performance package to get scheduled because that comes with the leather wrapped center console. So there has to be some constraint on the factory the regular console. Also, it says do not remove the 2.3 liter performance package from the 101A on orders selected that dealers can pick from. They call it the CVW. If you remove it, then it'll be unbuildable. So there are some dealers that are getting extra allocations because theirs was an unbuildable one, and they're giving them their allocations, but they're reminding people not to do that as dealers. All right. And of course, the order banks are open right now for the 2024 model year Mustang. 23 Escape is scheduling this week through the weeks of June 26th. Base and hybrid orders are retails only, of course, and plug-in the plug-in hybrid order banks are closed, but the gas and hybrid order banks are open. So I'm going to actually share with you guys which of the models that are open and which are closed. I do share this information with my sales staff. So it's good information for them to have as well. We actually covered every Saturday in our meetings for sales staff, but so I'm going to highlight that information as well as we go through this. Also, I need to look at my notes here because I want to highlight some other information. Actually, we'll get into that a little bit. We'll do that separately. So I do have information on some May scheduling information that starts next week. So let's go through scheduling for this week, and then we'll get into that. Okay. So on the 23 Bronco Sport, they are doing cleanup scheduling. Now, cleanup means that basically dealers that have allocations that haven't been fulfilled yet, they want to fulfill those allocations. So it's clean up the extra allocations available. So for us, we have like three or four models that have allocations we have left. F-150 and Super Duties usually they will do that. They'll schedule multiple weeks, but on the other models, it's if you had an allocation and it couldn't be fulfilled, it's because you probably don't have a retail order that way. And so then by the end of the month, if they can't schedule a retail, they'll probably schedule a stock one for you. And that's usually how that happens. And it depends on the model. Like Maverick, that wouldn't happen because it's only retail and such like that. But, Bronco Sport is one of those, like we don't have any retail orders in there. If we had an extra allocation left, that cleanup schedule would be for stock. So and on Bronco Sport, moonroof capacity is full through the week of 6/26, which means that anything probably scheduled this week will not have a moonroof on it. So just keep that in mind. 23 Edge, no scheduling this week. They and next month is actually this is the month they're closing out the order banks for 23 model year, and we know sometime here in May. They're going to open up the order banks for 24. Order banks are going to be opening up in May. We don't have a date yet on that. not a date I can share. Let me just say that. So I've learned not to share some of this information. I don't need a phone call from headquarters. All right. 23 model year Bronco scheduling job 1 balance out orders through 6/26. So job one would, again, there's job 1 and job 2. So another thing I need to explain. Job 1 is usually the first half. If they make any significant changes, they consider that job 2. Super Duty, there was some significant trims that weren't available, and other things. Bronco, they're going to be start scheduling for after this week, next month or next week. They're going to start scheduling for job 2 builds and that kind of thing. So, and the order banks are open right now on the Bronco. So don't forget that. The Big Bend, Black Diamond, Outer Banks, Badlands, and Wild Track Heritage Edition, Everglades Base are not open, but the other trims are. So keep that in mind. Don't forget, on the Outer Banks and Wild Track, you cannot order a cloth seat. Dealers can, so you can try to put in a dealer a stock order if they want and try to get that. But again, since they're not allowing retails, it's probably going to be hard for you to get a stock one scheduled with leather seats. But let's see what else. I got some other information on the Bronco here in just a little bit. Let's see. 23 model year Explorer, no scheduling this week. Base 100A and the hybrids are retail only. 23 Expedition, no scheduling this week. The 23 order banks are closed currently. And don't forget too, if you do have an order in that's not scheduled yet, and you have the 302A, 303A, 304A, 501A, or 400A, you need to add a heavy duty trailer tow package. I've talked about this for weeks, for like the last month. You won't get scheduled unless you have that on there on those. So there you go. 23 Maverick is cleanup scheduling. Again, only dealers that have allocations will get scheduled. There you go. The 23 order banks are closed right now. And 24 is supposed to open up, we think, in July. So I'm going to leave it at that. Let's see. Don't forget the key constraints, the trailer tow hitch, splash guards, trifold bed covers, and the box load bed liner. That's that tray liner. Now, keep in mind, doesn't mean that they won't get scheduled, because we've had some people that will say, well, you're wrong because I had one with a hitch and it got scheduled. Again, they're constrained. It's very constrained, especially on the hitch. They're gonna focus on people with the packages that have the hitch first. But then there might be a few other orders that can be scheduled with the optional hitch. It's just gonna be a lot harder for yours to get scheduled. Same way with the bed covers and such. 23 Ranger, no scheduling this week. In fact, I think 23 Ranger is pretty much done for scheduling. Everybody's allocation should be filled up for 23. We're gonna get more information next week. 5/10, so May 10th, dealers have a webcast to talk about the launch and the order banks, or the order guides and such. Hopefully, we get the order guides before the order banks open up. Come on forward, do what you did on the Mustang. Dealers, we need this. Customers need this, especially if you want to get that early order in to be one of the first ones. It's not fair to wait until the day of for us to start examining and looking at this, because especially for us dealers, you know, if we want to get information out, like for me as a YouTuber, I want to get that information out. I can't take orders and get information out at the same time to people. So, you know, help us out, get that ahead of time. It makes it a lot easier. And hopefully we see that as being a future. We did see it on the Mustang, so we'll just see if that carries over to other models. We'll have to see. 23 F-150 scheduling for the week of May 29th. So they usually schedule about a month in advance. 23 order banks are still open, believe it or not. The Lightning, if you had a Lightning reservation, you were invited to order. You have until May 8th to get that order in, right? If not, if you don't have it in by May 8th, it will get canceled. You'll get your $100 back, because here pretty soon they're going to be opening up the order banks for other people to order a 23. XLT trim is available to order as well. On the gas F-150, limited scheduling on the moonroofs, so that's still a constraint. Limited scheduling on this has to go with this week we're talking about right now, okay? Because in a little bit we're going to talk about May and what'll happen starting next week, but this is for this week. So limited scheduling on moonroof, limited scheduling on power tailgates, no additional high series tremors or Heritage packages. Should be able to find some of those out of, maybe not Tremors, but Heritage editions. You should be able to find dealers. Again, we have a whole slew of different colors. I prefer the Avalanche with the black. Kind of looks cool. Atlas with the black as well looks good. Anyway, those are available. No 20-inch all-terrain tires. That is the tire, that is option T24. It would be the optional tire. No STX appearance package or black appearance packages, and no 18-inch chrome appearance package wheel. That's wheel. The wheel is 64T, and then no 17-inch all-season tires on the XL two-wheel drive. 23 model year Super Duty. So they looks like, I don't think they're scheduling much this week. It does say Sims Creation, which is some stock stuff. They really, I think, need XL orders. 23 model year order bank is closed for the King Ranch Platinum and Limited. And then, of course, today was the last day you could order a cab and chassis, trimmer package on the Super Duty, and the platform running boards, also the fifth wheel and gooseneck prep kit. So if you didn't get that put in your order, too late at this point. Well, unless you have 35 minutes if your dealer's still open. And then spray and bed liner. So that's not available either. And then starting on May 9th, the 6.7 liter high output diesel will be closed. So that order bank is closing on the 9th. So if you wanted one with that, you need to make a decision on what you're going to order for that. So it does say this week, the limited scheduling on the Lariat trim. Also limited scheduling on the 360-degree camera, the Super Cab, and the 7.3 liter engine. And then they also said they encourage the spec change to the 18Y upfit integration system removal delete on the pickup and the cab and chassis. So, all right. Oh, there's even more limited. Okay, limited scheduling also on the 6.7 liter diesel, the split bench seat, and the limited scheduling on the interior work surface, and on the Pro Trailer Backup Assist. It says exhausted availability. I encourage removal of this option if it's optional, not if it's included in a package. So that's the Pro Trailer Backup Assist. That's that dial allows you to control the trailer. They're going to be scheduled for the Transit Connect van and wagon. They're trying to finish that up because this is the last year for Transit Connect in the U.S. and Canada. They're scheduling for the weeks of June 5th and the week of June 12th. For both of those transits, they're scheduling for the week of June 26th. The 23 model year order banks is open only for the Transit Trail. Otherwise, everything else is closed. Does say currently unavailable is the power sliding door, and that goes for the E-Transit as well. Limited availability for the chrome and black high intensity headlights, the high res rear view camera, and the 360 camera. And no power outlet, option 90D as a standalone option. If it's included in the package, you're good. It does say limited availability where included with the dual batteries for builder packages. And then also they do need BEV orders. That's the E-Transit orders. They're looking for those. So there you go. And then balance out, which means that they're trying to finish out. They're balanced out, which means they're not going to make any more for this model year of the depopulated key, the power running boards, the barn doors, option 59A, all crew van body styles, and cabin chassis, cutaways, and the 10,360 GVWR on the vans. Actually, that has to do with the vans, cabin chassis, and cutaways. And Mach-E is not scheduled this week, and we'll talk a little bit more about Mach-E. The 23 model year order bank is closed, but the 23.5 model year is supposed to open today, probably happened at 4 p.m. Our time. Scheduling is complete for the 23 model year. Really, I don't know why they call it 23.5 because it's really job 2 for the Mach-E. And it says no orders will be converted for 23.5 model year scheduling, and then order banks are supposed to open today for that. So here we go. So for main notes, let's just kind of go in the same order. Bronco Sport, the Outer Bank and the Outer Banks tech package is going to be pretty limited this next month. But 25% of the production will be, and the scheduling will be Badlands. So think about that. There is a price increase on the Badlands premium package. Actually, why is that not in my notes there? Maybe it's down below. So it went up $395 for that premium pack, the premium package on the Badlands. So keep that in mind. And then the Edge, the balance out for the front camera. So they're restricting the 301 on the 301A and the 401A. The front camera is restricted. It's pretty much balanced out for any leftover 23s. Bronco Job 2 will start up and begin production July 10th. So next month we'll start scheduling for those July dates. Some of those will be Job 1 probably. Job 2 will start in 7/10. Now, I don't think there's a lot of changes between Job 1 and Job 2. So there you go. And probably some of that will be the price increase where it starts at Job 2 typically for those of you that had those price increases, but I don't know otherwise. And that might not be the case either. But Explorer, the plant is going to be shut down for the first 2 weeks in July for the Explorer. So they'll be scheduling next month for it'll be, so if your allocations at the dealer are down, it's because it's just going to be a 2-week scheduling for the last 2 weeks in July. Expedition, the chrome running board constraint is better, they said. So they will start hopefully seeing that those people with the limited with a running board and XLT like 202A are going to be able to get those running boards back instead of having the plain black running boards. And then of course we already talked about the heavy duty trailer tow package for the rest of 23 model year. Maverick hybrid availability has increased to 50%. They did confirm third shift at plant coming online. So we think that's going to come online in July. So hopefully we see an increase in allocations. Cross our fingers. I'm crossing my fingers. Cross our fingers for that, and that we see an increase. So again, if they add a third shift, they can They should be able to triple production, right? Or not triple production. They'll add whatever. It'll be up. It'll be up 33% anyway. F-150 expecting a relief on the dual exhaust constraint that what they had on the 2.7 liter with the XLT or the Lariat black appearance package. So they say that's expecting a relief, which means that it was pretty constrained. So hopefully it won't be as constrained coming after this. Super Duty, King Ranch, Platinum, and Limiteds are now going to start scheduling in the month for May scheduling. So not this week, but hopefully starting next week. E-Transit, power sliding doors are on hold with no ETA. We're seeing that same one, of course, on the Transit. It says Transit Trail will now start scheduling. So next month, they'll start scheduling for the Transit Trail if you have one of those orders. So we should have ordered one of those just so we could get one in. Anyway, also power sliding doors are on hold with no ETA. And the PowerPoint plug 90D is still constrained until August. And the 360 camera is also still constrained on that. And then on the Mach-E, standard range only available on rear-wheel drive on the Select and Premium next month. So there you go. And I was like, where did I get the notes? I did have some other notes on the Bronco Sport. So the graphics package is available on the Big Bend, Outer Banks, and Badlands now. So if you want that on there, you can add it to your order or order one with it on there. Also, that Black Diamond package that was a late availability is now available. I actually submitted an order for a Big Bend with that. That package is available on the Big Bend or the Outer Banks. If you watched our video we did on that, on the updates for this order guides and such. Also, it does require the tow package if you add the Black Diamond package. So I did order one, so hopefully we can get it scheduled next month. Or like next week, so that we can get that in and get a video as soon as possible. Underbody protection is only available on the Heritage Edition only. So that was supposed to be available on other trims, but it's only available on the Heritage Edition right now. And the Badlands premium package is $395 more now. So there you go. All right. So.